call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome everyone to the school board meeting this evening. Remind everyone that we are live streaming the school board meeting this evening. So we'll start with a motion to accept consent agenda items.
Motion.
I have a motion by Earl. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we'll go down and ask if there's anyone present who would like to speak on any item that's on the agenda or any other item. Hearing none, we'll move down to old business. Philip, I think we have JCHS CTE project update.
Yes, the project is coming along. We've had a few delays because of normal supply chain stuff that seems to be prevalent the last 3 years on about anything you want. But very exciting, the health science area, the kids' second day of class were in there arranging stuff and just getting it set up and just taking a lot of ownership in it, which was really nice. Culinary area they've actually started installing all the kitchen appliances and counters, and it's just a sea of stainless steel, which has got everybody excited on that side of it too. Advanced Man, everything's on schedule there. The last thing we're waiting on is the welders. That's pretty much the hold up for Advanced Man finishing, and those are scheduled to come in, I believe, next week. And then that install is just wiring, which will take about a day. So we're getting closer and closer. Very exciting.
Fantastic. Any questions for Philip? Thank you for that update. So now we'll move down under new business. Under programs, we have certified staff evaluation tool.
This is just an inform. It's an annual requirement that we bring the staff evaluation tool for approval. This time's an inform. We'll be also sharing with JCCTA and discussing that over the next couple weeks, and I'll bring it back to you at the end of the month.
Great.
No changes, I should mention. Happens to be the exact same one this year, just updated dates.
Thank you. Next on the agenda under new business, enrollment update.
I just wanted to share our enrollment numbers. We've had a great first week of school. Many thanks to our parents, our students, our staff. It's just been a fantastic, strong start. We have, as of today, third day of school, 3,709 students. That is down slightly from last year at this same day, which would have been, it's 77 students less than the third day last year. So we're at 3,709. I'll keep you updated as we go out through the month. We typically pick up students throughout the month of August. The number continues to rise.
Next, we have a Go Math textbook disposal.
Yes, we adopted new textbooks this year for math, iReady. So we've offered the old textbooks to our students and families several times. So we would like to dispose of the remaining books. So asking for approval.
Do I have a motion to approve that disposal?
So moved.
Motion by Travis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we'll move down under professional staff. We have some recommendations.
I'm going to read this first round. So tonight for recommendations, we have Hannah Alexander, NVE teacher. Todd Hearn, JCSC Safety Coordinator, up to 5 additional days. Cameron Mills, Jennings County High School Spanish teacher. That's a correction of salary amount. We approved his name last time. And then two recommendations pending completion of hiring requirements. Lauren Miller as NVE music teacher and Chelsea Parr for the middle school guidance counselor. Asking for approval.
Do I have a motion to accept those recommendations as read? I have a motion by Chelsea. Do I have a second? Second by Mary Lynn. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0.
And we have some visitors here today. We'd love to introduce if we could. First of all, our newly approved NVE music teacher is Lauren Miller, and she's here today. If you would stand up, please. And then Cameron, you were able to be introduced last time, is that right? Okay. Cameron Mills is here, but I wanted to let you know, I did overhear him say, it was a good day today. You got to teach some Spanish finally, right? Yeah.
Terrific.
There's a lot of teach-tos, and there's a lot of repetition that's taking place, but it's nice when you finally get to content, right?
They were singing and dancing, so I think they had a good time.
Okay, that's great. Good. Well, Lauren, our tradition here is when you're approved, if you would please, if you'll come around the front, we would love to congratulate you and welcome you to Jennings County Schools. So you can start right up here on this side with Mr. Ebinger.
Jennings for the performances.
You're gonna love it.
Welcome to the team.
It's always great to meet new teachers, so Lauren, thank you for joining us, and Cameron for coming back. Great, so we'll move down under support staff. We have some, let's see, no? Oh, we have SLPA pay scale approval, yeah, okay.
Yes, this is the non-cert pay scale for a speech language pathologist assistant, which we talked about 2 years ago, finally come to fruition, and they're asking for approval.
Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mary Lynn, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat, any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Great. Now we'll move down to recommendations.
Sure. Under the following recommendations, asking for approval, please, for Andrea Correa York to be hired as a Norfolk Elementary Parapro, Gregory Dis, Jennings County Schools floating bus driver, Gracie Earls, St. Creek Elementary Parapro, Nicole Phelps, also serving as a JCSC floating bus driver, Megan Stevens as a Jennings County High School girls cross country coach, Michaela Stidham, JCHS Sped Parapro, Cheyenne Young, Norfolk Elementary Sped Parapro, and then falling under the category of recommendations pending hiring requirements, that would be Michelle Beatty, Jennings County High School Parapro, Macy Cowan, Sand Creek Elementary Parapro, Sped Parapro, that would be a split schedule 3 days a week, Katrina Hawley, Norfolk Elementary Sped Parapro, Bonnie Jones, Jennings County High School Library Parapro, Skyanne Levitt, Norfolk Elementary Sped Parapro, Katie Likens, Scipio Elementary Nurse, Misty Proctor, Scipio Elementary Custodian, Summer Ritz, St. Creek Elementary Parapro, and Adam Tucker, Jennings County High School Custodian for third shift, please.
Okay, entertain a motion. I have a motion by Earl, do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Cheryl, any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0.
And I would love to introduce one person if you don't mind. Misty Proctor is here tonight, and I want to tell you that Mrs. Patterson at Scipio Elementary School is thrilled to death to finally able to have Misty Proctor join the team. They've been without some second shift help for several months, and so Melissa Patterson is very thrilled, and I am too. But Misty, welcome you. Would you please come by so we can welcome you to the team? So Miss Misty Proctor.
Hello.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mrs. Patterson's so happy.
Thank you. Congratulations.
So next we're down under finances, we have some donations. Philip?
Yes, I'm asking for approval of the following donations. Anonymous, $160 to Brush Creek for student snacks. Don Coors, $200 donation to Brush Creek for student snacks. Walmart, $1,500. Spark Good local grant to the Jennings County High School supply shop. And St. Vincent Ascension, $5,000 to the middle school for PE uniform shirts.
We'll entertain a motion to approve donations as read. Motion by Travis, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat, any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next we're down to budget.
Yes, it's that time of year again. So this is the first presentation of the budget. There'll be at least one, if not two more, before we move on. So the next slide sort of shows the schedule. And the main thing that matters is we had the hearing on our last meeting in September and then the budget adoption on October 3rd. We actually could adopt the second meeting of October, but I'd like to try to stay ahead of it just in case. But we technically could go back to that if need be. Next slide shows the current budget, what I'm estimating the support to be. One fund supports the education side, which is the basic grant, and two funds support by local property tax for the operations and the debt service. And then we have additional funds supported by multiple grant sources throughout any given year. What I plan on advertising as of right now for the budget would be education, 36 million, debt service, 3.9, operations, 6.5 million, and rainy day, $500,000. Now, between now and our first meeting in September, the debt service one could have an adjustment made to it because we're currently looking at a debt neutral tax rate bonding situation for long-term maintenance. It's nothing set in stone on it yet, but like we did last time, it would be a tax rate neutral situation. All right, next up just sort of shows what the education fund goes towards. I'm no reason to read all those. The main thing is teacher salary and benefits, instructional staff and benefits, and you've got a variety of other things that fall in line on the education side. Next slide shows the ops side, which this all goes back to 2019 where they switched it and they've thrown the transportation into there, they've thrown capital projects into there, and then your normal stuff that basically to run the school, utilities, all those type of things. Debt service is well known too. You got your leasing payments, common school loan, geo bonds, and interest on loans. Those are the main things that come out of the debt service line. Next line shows the cash history for the last 5 years. Next slide shows the cash history and how it's broke up between rainy day operations and education. It shows the balances as of December 30th. And rainy day is created in 2005 for a variety of purposes. Since I've been here for the last 4 years, we've used it one time for the lighting out of Sand Creek in conjunction with the HVAC project. So that balance is the same as it was last June now. We took nothing out of rainy day last year. Debt service, again, we've talked about that. This is our current payments for 2025 is 3.9 million, which is slightly down from the year before because we top-ended that geo bond this year and paid quite a bit of it down to avoid interest cost. Proposed budget for education is going to be advertised at 36. The actual is going to be probably more like 32.9. Operations advertised is going to be 6.5, with the actual being somewhere closer to 14. And keep in mind, the reason why those are advertised because of the way the state situation works. You have to advertise high, even though you know it's never going to be that. But you pretty much have to do that. Next slide, I updated this year, like we've had this on there every year, basically shows how the county AV can affect the budget. And, basically if the AV drops, in this case, it's an example of a 15% drop in AV could impact us by about $1.4 million. Now I'm being told, and I've heard from a couple different sources, that it won't be dropping this year, most likely. Which is odd because typically after 2 big growth years, which is what we've had years of 15 and 6.75, I believe, but it's still slated to go up again, is what they're projecting. Next slide shows where it has been the last 10 years, and you can see how the last 2 times have been a very gracious, I guess, increase in AV. It's really gone up quite a bit. And I'm estimating that's going to happen again in 25. Next up shows the advertised tax rate compared to the actual. This was how last year finished. I advertised at 1.96, came in at 1.1819, which was pretty much flat from 23. The next slide shows what 25's current advertised rate's gonna be, which again, it shows high, but I'm estimating the actual to be obviously quite a bit less. So that's, and these slides these calculations are very similar to how we've done them the last 3 years. Next slide just shows the cap. Next meeting, I'll calculate, I'll give you guys what the cap actually costs operations fund, because we've got those numbers. But what the purpose of this slide is to say the only thing that really affects the tax cap is operations side. Doesn't affect debt service and it doesn't affect ed. That's the main thing, main takeaway from this. And a recap of what we're gonna advertise. This matches slide 4. It's identical, but just sort of to summarize. And then the second to last slide here shows just the property tax update. You can see the second bullet point down talks about how the 24, just so everybody knows, 2024 assessment is for 2025, but it's for taxes in 2026. So everything about taxes is always delayed a while. So you have the assessment, and by the time it takes effect, then the following year you finally pay. The max levy growth quotient is stayed at 4% again this year. That's 2 years in a row. This has been at 4. There's some sort of law that says the max is 5, but they chose to only make it 4. And then if the levy rises more than the assessed value, tax rates rise. Local units and districts with rates above $2 are vulnerable to tax cap revenue losses. And we're currently setting it to 1.175. 1.1817, sorry. And last page just shows sort of the reminders. You know, when this is just state of Indiana budgeting for schools in general, you gotta try to protect your tax rate, advertise high, advertise low AV, and then adopt operations fund at the max rate is what you're trying to accomplish with that. Any questions? All right, 2 weeks, we get to do it again.
So as Philip said, this is an item is in form, and we'll see the information again in a couple of weeks. So next we have a resolution for approval.
Yes, this is a resolution to adjust the appropriations within the major account balances over the next 2 weeks. With school starting and things like that, we have to move some money around, but it all stays within its own area. But if we end up doing, I've got a couple things right now, so I'll bring you guys the summary of that, like you're always able to look at after.
We'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Mary Lynn, do I have a second? Second by Pat. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Next, we're down to relations. We have a MOU.
Asking for an approval of an MOU with Wilson Education Service Center. This is a procurement agreement. By working with them, we can get some reduced rates on pricing for buying some goods and services. So asking for approval.
Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by Pat. Do I have a second? Second by Earl. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And then we have one additional.
Asking for approval of an MOU with Vincennes University. It's for Sand Creek Elementary particularly. It allows for student teaching, licensing placement.
Entertain a motion to approve that MOU.
So moved.
Motion by Travis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cheryl. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. And now we're down under other.
No others except to say thank you to the community, our law enforcement officers, our parents, our students, our teachers. We had a great first week of school so far, and that's that effort all together collective that made that happen. So very appreciated.
Great, fantastic. Entertain a motion to adjourn. I have a motion by Chelsea. Do I have a second? Second by Pat. All those in favor? 7-0. Meeting adjourned.